In 1881, President Hayes proclaimed by executive order approximately 157,000 acres along the Spokane and Columbia rivers in eastern Washington reservation land for the Spokane Tribe of Indians. In 1933, President Franklin D Roosevelt signed the New Deal, which among other things gave the okay to begin construction of Grand Coulee Dam on the Columbia River in Washington state. The 550-foot-high dam created a huge reservoir called Lake Roosevelt that extends 130 miles northeast up the Columbia and 30 miles east up the Spokane River. As a result, the dam flooded tribal reservation lands of both the Colville and Spokane tribes. The Colvilles were initially compensated $63,000 under a 1940 act for the many miles of land flooded on their reservation. They were later compensated an additional $53 million in 1994 and have since received annual payments ranging from $14 million to $21 million. The Spokanes, whose land lies directly across the Columbia River from the Colvilles, were compensated a mere $4,700 for the flooding of 40 miles of white sandy beaches. Much of that land consists of ancestral burial grounds. Both tribes' livelihoods were irreparably damaged not only from flooding, but also because the dam made upstream passage impossible for indigenous salmon populations. Salmon was not only their main food source, but also their way of life. The salmon would return in abundance every spring for 4 months, and the tribe would fish them not only for food, but also to trade with other tribes and non-natives.
Future legends here, screaming out for the people to hear, the Spokane Tribe.
We ask that you help our they should all be here to find out about
A lot of our elders said, I'll be dead before we get anything, and they are gone. So for me, that's sad that they had to leave without anything, and they're the ones who really suffered because they knew how it was, before. So we do have to remember this for our kids. These people driving over the river, come downtown to enjoy the falls. They do that because it was taken from us. They don't realize they get to enjoy this park by the falls because that was all taken from us, and we still have nothing to show for it.
Pray for compensation for them for their desecrated place of serenity and prayer where they're supposed to be at peace and they're not because the dam uprooted their graves and our ancestors and the ones who walk with us here today. BTA, it's time to pay! No, please!
Can you tell me why you came out today?
To support the Spokane Tribe, to get justice for the Spokane Tribe, support everything that's going on, and to show my kids what it means to stand up for what you believe in.
Hi, I'm Darlene McCarty from the Spokane Tribe. I'm here rallying for our rights and our fishes, and to yell at Kathy Rogers McMorris saying we need your help or somebody's help. We have too many elders we're losing. We've been waiting over 80 years for the Grand Coulee settlement. I hope you're not trying to wait for all us elders to die. We really need your help, Kathy McMorris. I have come to your office several times. You know me, darling. I'm Darlene. I've been at your office several times. Please, we need your ears, your eyes. Please listen to us. We need it. 80 years is too long. Thank you.
We're asking for restoration of that, for the BPA to listen and talk to the cars and BPA, it's time to pay! Respect our past, present, and future! We've lost our salmon forever!
Can you tell me why you came out today?
Because I support the Spokane Tribe, and I support that the government needs to compensate them for the loss of salmon, the loss of life, and loss of land. and they should do it now. Kathy McMorris Rogers, I vote.
How about you? How come you came out?
Support the Spokane Tribe.
Yeah?
Yes.
What about Grand Coulee? What are your thoughts on Grand Coulee?
We need our compensation. It's time.
BPA, time to pay. PRA,
The Creator gave the land to all of us, and then we were somehow portrayed as having to sign a piece of paper. Our chiefs are... I can just imagine how our chiefs felt. I cry in my heart for them to know that the pressure that they were under by being told that you have to sign a piece of paper when they didn't even know how to use a pen. They didn't know how to use a paper, but being forced to sign on a piece of document for our people to be tormented for the rest of our lives. That's what this caused. And we were forced to sign on pieces of papers, the chiefs, the people of our different tribes. And this is how we got in this predicament, trying to get money for our desecrated people on the Spokane Tribe to be able to try to get reconciliation for our people, and not knowing the amount of elders that have died. I'll be 51 next month, and I worked that program for 11 years, the archaeology, and I was one of the retrievers, one of the many retrievers. There's more of us that had to handle our people that are desecrated, and that'll never stop. Those bones of our ancestors will never ever stop coming up from that part of the river. The Spokane Tribe is due from the BPA and Kathy McMorris. We need you to hear our cry and our plea that we're little Spokane people, but we are not going away. And we're going to continue to fight. And I thank everybody and Jeff for everybody coming today. And Lem Lynch, Tupits, Kunsuten, and all the ancestors that are here with us today. Lem Lynch. Thank you.
In 2013, Indian Affairs United States Department of the Interior Assistant Secretary Kevin K. Washburn, before the Senate Committee of Indian Affairs, introduced Bill S. 1448, Spokane Tribe of Indians of the Spokane Reservation Equitable Compensation Act. The tribe has received support from both sides of the Senate and House of Representatives, but faces opposition from their own district representative, Washington State 5th District Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rogers. For generations, the Spokane Tribe has watched their way of life diminish, while the Bonneville Power Administration has made billions off the electricity generated from Grand Coulee Dam. Studies have shown the effect of a settlement between BPA and the Spokane Tribe would mean a mere 25-cent per month increase to ratepayers that BPA services.